We're coming up to the end of the year, and that means it's also fundraising season. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 recommendations, tips, helpful pointers on how you can write an appeal letter that is both persuasive but also at the same time Catholic, so it resonates with your Catholic audience. So stick with me till the very end, and I think these tips are going to help you. Hi, I'm Brice Sokolowski, the founder of CatholicFundraiser.net, a website that's helping you fundraise better in the Catholic context. And today we're going to be talking about appeal letters. How do you write an appeal letter that is both persuasive but also at the same time Catholic? Now, before we dive in, I want to make sure that you download absolutely for free the 10 Commandments to Catholic Fundraising. These are 10 things that I recommend you do on a regular basis because it's going to help you fundraise more efficiently, it's going to help you find donors, but also it's going to be able to help you align fundraising with your apostolate, with your mission. So make sure that you download the 10 Commandments to Catholic Fundraising. The link is going to be right below. Okay, appeal letters. It's the end of the year, so more than likely you are starting to write the appeal letter. And here are my 3 recommendations on how to write an appeal letter that is both persuasive, that means it's going to get people to donate, but also at the same time, it's going to resonate with Catholics. And if you can do these 2 things, resonate with Catholics and be persuasive, you're going to have a better appeal letter. So, point number 1 on writing an appeal letter is you have to tell a story. Now, the story usually has to be, my recommendation, something that's happened recently, over the past 3 months. I really don't recommend writing the story of how your apostolate came about. I don't really recommend having a broad scope. When I say story, it's almost like talking about, well, you know what, guess what? I went to the store yesterday and this is what happened. So you want something very specific as opposed to saying, hey, in general, when I go to the store, all of these things happen. And so you don't go into the context of how you get into your car, how you drive somewhere, where you park, where the store that you like best, all that stuff. It's just an example of trying to be specific with a story. Talk about one thing that you've done, for example, if you're spreading the gospel, if you're helping the poor, if you're educating people, one thing in particular that you think is very, very interesting. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is this story somehow has to connect with the reader. So it has to be something that they can familiarize themselves with. So you don't want to talk about something that's, what's the word I'm looking for, is esoteric in the sense that, you know, they would never know about it. For example, I don't know, if you're a priest and you want to tell a story about, I don't know, something that happened before preparing for Mass. You know, are they going to know all those little things that go on? And you said, hey, something really interesting. Now, maybe they would find it interesting. This is just an example. But make sure that the story that you're telling can be related, if possible, to the reader. And they can say, you know what, either that's happened to me, or I can see that would seems very, very interesting that you're telling me this story. So make sure it's very, very personable and they can make this direct connection. And the third recommendation is to actually ask for a donation in a clear way. You don't want to mix it into a very long paragraph and right in the middle it's, you know, if you feel the opportunity to support our work through, and then, you know, a long sentence. Usually you want the sentence short and you want it clearly in its own paragraph. So you just make sure it's clear and that you're asking for a donation. Don't be ashamed to ask for a donation. Yes, it's going to be difficult, but just put it on paper and say, look, told you a fantastic story, connected it with you, and how we're, you know, spreading our apostolate and how we're successful. And because we're doing this work, we'd like to do more of it and we'd like your support. So those are my 3 tips on how to write a persuasive but also Catholic appeal letter. Now, if you need any help, you can come and contact me through my website, CatholicFundraiser.net. You can share this with somebody, but please make sure to take action, whether you're writing an appeal letter, use this information, or if you know somebody that's writing an appeal letter, share this information, because if Catholic apostles can write more persuasive and Catholic appeal letters, they're going to be raising more money and they're going to be less stressed, and they can focus more attention on their mission, which for the most part is saving lives and saving souls. God love you. Look forward to speaking with you next week. Bye-bye.